Really, thanks very much for that. Thank you. Sorry, we were way too late. The applause all ran out at the time we got up here. Thank you. The money's on the post. Okay, and just to say I have with me a renowned professor, Professor Janus. Oh, please, call me Hugh. And okay, well, I'll leave that with him. Okay, forget it eventually. And Hugh is extremely well versed and an expert on symbolic movement. And what he's going to do for me tonight to help me get my comedy across is he's going to mime for the mildly inattentive. And between my speaking and his actions, more of the message will get across from that. Okay, so I just want to get started and say I am a product of winging access. And I don't mean when my mother gave birth to me. What I mean is that there was a time, which is still happening, that people were attracted to higher education that would not normally go. So I was in the Gorbals Job Club. I was 37 years old. And 20 years construction experience. And I was asked, I said, would you like to talk to a university tutor? Because, you know, we've seen you about, we think you'd be a really good material for university. And I was like, yeah, of course. So I spoke to them, and they said, yeah, we think you're the material, you're non-traditional, but we think you've got what it takes. And I was absolutely over the moon. So I ran all the way home and told my family, and my family all laughed at me. And I told my friends all laughed at me. Still, here I am, I'm an academic, and I'm doing stand-up comedy. They're not laughing now. But just to say, you get too many laughs. Right, so, just to give an example of how unintelligent I am and how surprised I was to get to go to university. There was an incident when I was 12 or 13 at our local church, and the minister was talking about a very important moment in history that actually kind of started off with religion, and that was when Martin Luther was walking through the streets of Wittenberg in Germany, and he went up to the church, and he nailed his protest to the door, his 95 Theses. Now, everybody else in the church at that time was thinking, oh yes, right, yeah. Myself, on the other hand, not being too bright, was thinking, my girl's nailing shit to a door. And that actually started to off for my first piece of unofficial research when I was 13, when I went home and actually tried to nail shit to a door. And I have to say, I came up with the conclusion, you must have put it in a bag first. The funny thing was, I didn't get that image altered until I got to university. And one of the lecturers says, can anybody tell me anything about Martin Luther's process? And I said it was shit. And he says, well, he wasn't very academically rigorous, but I think you're going a bit too far there. That's what I actually discovered. So, then I graduated and I actually got a job. A few years later, I got a job in academia. Or as some people say, academia. I mean, that's nuts. And to be honest, when I started the job, I was initially avoiding research. I was a bit research phobic until I bumped into one of my colleagues in the corridor, and he says, I'll not be in next week, I'm going down to London to deliver a paper. And I said, have they not got paper shops in London? And he explained that to me, and he says, no. I'm going down to talk to people about my research. And then I tried, and did the university send you down there and pay for it? They absolutely do. Right, and I said, just London. You could go all over the world. You could go to Hong Kong, America, Japan, Sweden, wherever. And the university pay for that. Now, 99% of my motivation to do research is to go to Las Vegas for a conference. That's what I'm really hoping for. But so far, Stirling. Yeah, as far as I've got. It doesn't even warrant an overnight stay. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit poor. still, you know, but then again, I'm not too good at conferences, so maybe that's just as well. We come out and the keynote's done his speech. Keynote speaker said his bit, and we'll come out and people will say things like, what a wonderful speaker. And somebody else said, he's got wonderful testimonials. And I'll say, well, he's wearing tight trousers if you're not going to see them. So I've maybe got to work on my conference stuff a bit. So. But when I do research, I do action research. Now, when people hear that, they think it's James Bond research, it's Mission Impossible research, it's codes and it's Da Vinci Code and that, but it's not. All it means is you actually take a specific problem and you work on it until you get an answer. And it's a cyclical thing. And the cycle is you plan, you act, you observe, and you reflect. But that's going to be quite difficult to understand, so I'll actually take you one that we actually done at the school. Students weren't going to lectures, so we said, okay, let's have a plan here. So we said, yes, we're going to tase them. So that's what we did. So we went around tasing them, and then we observed. And we observed that they still weren't going to lectures. In fact, they were looking a bit pissed off. And they were talking about abuse of human rights. So then we reflected. We agreed with Amnesty International that maybe we shouldn't have done that. Maybe that was the wrong thing to do. With Amnesty International dropped the court case, we won't do it anymore. But we weren't put off. And we thought, right, okay, let's try something else. So we thought, let's give them free alcohol. So we put bars in all the lecture halls. I tell you, I'm only joking. It wasn't free. They had to pay for it. So we put that in, and we observed, and attendances were more than they should have been. I mean, people from sociology were going to biology lectures. It was just crazy, and it was very busy. And we thought that's great, but then we reflected and we discovered that all our exam results went down the toilet and weren't very good. And we became the only university in Scotland to have an ASPO. And I just finally want to say that I've been speaking to people, and a lot of people seem to think that academics are elitist and aloof, but
academics are not elitist and aloof. We do have a sense of humour. Just to prove that, I'd like to tell you my joke. How many academics does it take to change a light bulb? None. We're academics. We don't change bloody light bulbs, do we? Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to see Amnesty International. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you.